Hey guys, good morning everyone. How is everyone doing? Are you guys doing good?
Hi, Megna. Good morning.
Hi, what about others? Okay, great. Pallavi, hi. Sakshi, hi, good morning. All right, great. Are we good to get started? Hi, Krishna. Any questions, any doubts from last class that you want me to address before getting started? Okay, there's no question, no doubts. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. If there's no question, no doubts, can anyone tell me what was the last topic that we learned in Excel? Yeah, we were learning functions, but I think the last topic that we learned was string functions, right? We were handling different kind of strings. So yeah, string functions is what we learned, right? So we are at the stage of learning different functions and understanding how in Excel we can do different tasks, right? So today let's start with an easy topic. It's date and time functions. Okay. So any kind of date related work that you need to do, and lot of time you need to work with date related functions because let's say if there's a column which has a poorly formatted date or something which is not in proper order, so in that case you need to use date and time functions as well, right? But basic functions for date and time, like if you want to get today's date, right, you will get today's date. If you get want to get what is the time right now, uh, you can use now, and you will get the date and the time right now. Okay, same way if you want to, let's say, create a date. Let's say you want to create a date based on specified year, month, day, etc. You can use the date function again, but you can specify what year do you want. Let's say I want 2025, 6th Jan. So it will create the date for you. So if you give elements to it, it will be able to create the date for you. And then if you go and want to format the date, you can go ahead and format the date as in how you want it to be. From home tab, numbers group, you can choose how you want to look. I mean, how you want your date to look like. Okay. Same with time. You can do the same thing with time. You can create timestamps as well, like 7, let's say 8, and let's say 9. So it will create the timestamp for you. Simple things. As I said that we'll start with a basic topic. Okay, for example, this is today, this is now, this is date function, this is time function. Where you can use it, I'll just show you. So for example, let's say there is a column which is nothing but year of birth. Okay, year of birth is present. Okay, and it's present like this. Okay. Now, if you want to calculate their age, what will you do? If you want to calculate their age, you will directly subtract from today. Today minus this day, right? and then you will calculate a number out of it, right? Got the fact? Okay, Sarika, we were just talking about date and time functions. This is today, which gives you current date, current time. If you want to calculate, if you want to make a date out of different components, you can create a date like this. You can create time and etc. all over here. Is it clear till here?
So this one, it came in day number of
Yes,
days
it is. You
format.
can convert. You can convert, right?
Okay, again by
Yeah,
365. Okay.
yes. Everybody clear till here, guys? Okay. Just a quick execution. Can you guys do? Just quickly complete till here and we'll move to the next topic. Preksha, age is nothing but today minus the year of birth. And then I've just divided it by 365.
Yeah, done.
Okay. Done. 4 done. What about others? Okay, cool. Let's move to the next topic, which is again one of the most important topics of Excel. Okay. Now tell me this. A lot of times when we do analysis or when we work around with data sets, is it always like all the information is stored in one data set or in one table? Is it a normal scenario that all the data will be stored in one table or one data set? Yes or no? No, right? Very unlikely. Data might be broken down and stored in multiple tables. And in fact, when you learn SQL, you will understand that that's a very that's a very optimization, I mean, that's an optimization technique that is in fact done so that the tables maintain accurate consistent data. So it's called normalization and denormalizations and etc., where we break down tables, and it will never be like one table that contains a lot of data. Like, it can contain a lot of data, but not a lot of dimensions, because when you store everything in one data, there's a high chance that your data will not be consistent, accurate. There can be redundancy and a lot of things, right? So usually, if you notice, in most of the scenarios, your table or your data, I mean, the entire data gets stored in multiple tables. Like, for example, here we have a table which is like the product details that we have. These are the different products that we have, okay? And then we have the employee details, which stores that which employee sold which product at which date, right? So, what do you think? When we do analysis, do we extract all the information from one table at a time? Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. Right. So if we're doing an analysis, a lot of times we might not use just one table. Right. We might actually, most of the scenarios, we might need information from multiple tables. Right. Bring in we need to bring in information or fields or columns from multiple tables, so that we have a broader view, or we know what happened across multiple tables, right? And that's the reason why we need to merge tables or join tables, right? Like, if you have two big list of information, you need a way that can relate this information, right? Let's say you have a name, you have all the names and their phone numbers, and you have another list of names and their corresponding address. You need a way that every phone number and the address gets associated with this particular person's name, right? What I'm trying to say is, let's say there is name and phone number in one place, and in another place you have name and address. Now you need all this information. So you need at one place the name, the phone number, and the address. Right. And for doing this, you need to make sure that the correct name gets associated with the correct phone number and correct address. We just can't side by side merge two tables, right? We can't side by side just merge two tables, because maybe the order of names over here and here is different. Possible, right? So that's the reason why we need to merge data in the first place, right? And for doing that in Excel, how do you do it? In SQL, you have joins, but in Excel, how do you do it? In Excel, we basically have lookups. So lookups basically are a super fast way where you can find related information between two different different tables or etc, right? So for example, you can tell Excel that Excel find me this name in list 1 and then give me the address from list 2. So all of these kind of things can be done with lookups, right? We need lookups in the first place because we are trying to find related data. Okay, we need to find related data. We need to combine information, and that will save our time, our effort, and will help us with multiple level of analysis that we can do. Got that? Basic thing is clear for everyone. Okay, the first thing that we will learn, the most basic lookup, is VLOOKUP. Okay, so VLOOKUP basically stands for nothing but vertical lookup. Okay, it's a lookup that will basically perform its operation vertical. Okay, so it's a powerful function again, and it searches for a value. It is going to search for a value in the first column of a table or range. That is a classic that is a classic VLOOKUP thing to do. It will always find whatever value you ask it to find. It will find a value in the first column or range, always. Like if I tell it to find the value electronics, let's say I tell VLOOKUP to find the value electronics in employee, it will try to find electronics in this, in the first column of employee, right? That's how lookup works. Okay, so we need to specify our values likewise, right? So what I'm trying to say, I'll repeat it again, that VLOOKUP searches for a value, finds a value in the first column of the table or the range that you're working with, and based on that it will basically return you whatever value you want. Okay, a simple example, let's say there is a column like this where you have the fruits and you have the price. So let's say apple, banana, and you have the price, let's say 30 and let's say 10. Okay, and then there is one more table where you have the fruits, you have the store name in which store this fruit is available, and let's say you have the stocks, like how much stock is available for this fruit. So let's say apple is available in store 1, and 5 units of apple is available. Same for B, available in store 2, and let's say 15 units of banana is available. Okay, so if I tell you to find the value, okay, let's say I tell you that find the value that for every fruit, I want to find that how much stock is available. Okay, for every fruit, let's say I tell you that find out how much stock is available. Now, here you will feel like there are just two values. I can just look into the other table and fill it up. But don't think of any problem from that perspective, right? Every time you think or learn anything, understand that the scale will be very different in real life. There will be so much data and there will be so many columns, and the tables will also be located at different physical locations, right? So how will you manually go and look and come? It's a very tedious process if you go and manually check and come back. Not that you cannot do, you can do, but it will be very manual. So to reduce this, we can use VLOOKUP. And we will basically ask VLOOKUP to find, let's say, the fruit apple. So the moment I say that find this fruit apple, it will go and find it in the first column or range of table I have specified. So let's say the table I have specified is this. So in this table, it will go and find apple in the first column. The moment it finds it, like here it has found apple, it has found apple over here. So the moment it finds it, what do you want out of it? You want stock. You said we look up that find apple and return the stock. So it found Apple in the first column and it will now return the stock. So the stock 5 will come up. Same way for B, it will take B and it will find in the first column or range of the table I've specified. The moment it finds B, it will return the stock 50. That's how VLOOKUP works in a simple way. The working is clear for everyone. Everybody clear? Yes, it will always work for only first column. If it doesn't find anything, it will return null. That I couldn't find that. Okay. Now the process of writing the code. Okay, so let's say I'm trying to find VLOOKUP. I'll type it as VLOOKUP over here. And let's say I want to find the quantity sold. Okay. I'm trying to find the quantity sold. So VLOOKUP, the first thing is lookup value. What is lookup value? Lookup value is the value that you are trying to search for. This is the value. This is the Apple value. This is the value that you are trying to search for in the column or the first column of the table, right? This is the value that you want to search for. Okay. So it could be a number, it could be a text, it could be anything. Okay. So what is the value that I will search for over here, for which I want the quantity sold? Can anyone tell me? Isn't it product ID? Isn't it product ID? I mean, look at this table. Look at this table. I can find the product ID over here and corresponding quantity sold can be retrieved, right? Simple. I can find the same product ID over here in this table and find the quantity sold corresponding to it, right? So everybody got that, what we are trying to do? Others, yes, no? Okay. So VLOOKUP. What am I looking up for? Product ID. Okay. Next is, yes, we have to find something common between both tables, right? If there is nothing common, how will you find corresponding information? It's like an unsaid thing, right? If there is nothing common between two tables, how will you find corresponding information or related information? Is that basic thing firstly clear for everyone? Uh, why are others not responding? Is it not clear for everyone? Clear. Okay. Cool. So I know what is my lookup value. This is the value I'm searching for. So I'm searching for the value of a product ID that we have. Next is table array. Table array is basically the table. This is the range of cells or the table where I will find this lookup value. Okay, so this should be the this should include the column which I'm looking up for, right? So what will be my table value or table array in this case? Will it be the employee table? Yes, it will be the employee table, right? So if I select the employee table, I will lock it like only absolute referencing, because obviously um we don't want it to change. It will always look in this same range of cells, right? So locked it. Now, next is column index number. So column index number is basically the column number that you want to return when the value is found. Okay, this is the column number from this particular table array that you have specified. So you are saying VLOOKUP that find the, find the quantity sold for this product. So when it finds that product ID in the table that you have specified, you have to tell VLOOKUP that what do you want to find out? What value at the end do you want to return? So here we want to return the quantity sold, right? And how do we specify Excel that I want the quantity sold? Using column index number. This is nothing but the column number that you want to retrieve, right? For example, let's say you want the third column to be retrieved, which is, let's say, product ID. Then you will write 3. But here in our case, what is the column that we want to retrieve? Quantity sold, which is in the table array. Always look from the perspective of table array. You have selected from column A to E. So when you select from column A to E, the fourth column is column quantity sold. Yes or no? Always see with respective to the table or the range of cells that you have selected. With the range of cells that I have selected, fourth is the one that I will look at. If I would have selected only from C to E, then 2 would have been the quantity sold. Is that basic thing clear for everyone? Okay. Then is range lookup. Okay, range lookup is optional. Okay, you may give this value, you may not give this value. So range lookup has only two possible values that you can give. You either true or false. True means it will find for an approximate match. False means it will find for an exact match. Right? So approximate match will basically be that for example, John, 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 and Jon, John might be approximate, and exact will be, it should be exactly John. Every text, everything should be exact. So usually we use exact match, very rarely we will use approximate match. Excuse me. So I'll give false, close the formula and enter. Now it returned any. Okay, identify errors also from now on, right? I purposefully gave this so that we understand this. Okay, let me wrap the text. Okay, so whenever it has this error NA, what does it mean? Can anyone tell me what does NA mean? Yeah, so NA means not found, right? So if whatever you're trying to find, right, if there is no match found, that means NA. Basically it couldn't find, it couldn't find that, it couldn't find whatever you were trying to find. Okay, NA. Whatever you were trying to find, it couldn't find. That's the reason why NA was returned. So it couldn't find product 101 in the table or array range that you have selected, right? So the first error is clear, what NA error means. We'll go step by step. I know that VLOOKUP, a lot of people get confused, but I'll teach you in the most easiest way. Okay. So just keep answering with me. Is it clear till here? Okay. Now why, let's decode why this happened. Okay. 101 is the product ID. And if I look at my employee table, 101 is in fact the first row for product ID. Then why didn't it find? It should have found, right? Why didn't it find? Any idea?
Can I see the function again, please?
Exactly, Sarika, you give the answer, right? It couldn't find because I am looking for A2 in employee tables, the entire range from A to E. I am looking for product ID in this entire range of A to E. But the problem is that here A is employee ID, like the first column is employee ID. So it's looking for the product ID in the first column of the table range selected. So it is obviously not going to find it over here, right? That means I have to customize my table range, right? So instead of AE, instead of this table range, I have to specify only from product ID. I can only choose this particular range of cells, like only the C and D, because nothing else is relevant. Firstly, like I don't need the sale date. I can only choose C and D because C will then be the first column that my lookup will look into, and then it can return quantity sold. Is that clear? Why I chose CD? You can choose C, D, E also. You can obviously choose C, D. You can't go backwards. You can go forwards, like towards the right. Obviously, you can choose any number of columns. But if sale date is nothing relevant to me, I'm not even trying to look for sale date, then why will I select it? Why to increase the execution time? Right? So I have only selected C and D. Okay. Now it shows a different error. Now the error is reference error. Anyone can tell me why reference error came up over here? Now everything was right, right? So why reference error? Or what kind of error is reference error? Exactly. So reference error means you are trying to find a column index number that is larger than the number of columns in your table array. So here your column index number is larger than number of columns selected in table array, right? So if you notice, in my table array, I've selected C and D, only two columns, and I've specified 4 as the column index number. So I have to change this also, right? And now I will return the second column because second column was quantity sold, right? So if I press enter, now if you see, I got the quantity sold exactly over here. Is this clear for everyone? Now is it clear for everyone? Now, if you just double click, it will fill up the values for every product ID present over here. Now, if you see the order of product ID over here and the order of product ID over here is very different. But still, it gave me the right set of products present over here. I mean, the right set of quantity sold for every correct product ID. You can match it. 10215. Look at it. 10215. Right? So, got it how VLOOKUP works? One more thing is one more kind of error that can come up is value error. Value error comes up when if your function's column index number is less than 1. If by chance you give less than 1 as your column index number, then your function will basically return a value error. So for example, if you give -3, see, it will give a value error. Right? So you should know the errors so that whenever you're working with Excel or whatever work your analysis you're doing, if you encounter an error, you should not be stuck. By seeing the error, you should know what is wrong so that you can decode it. Right? So everybody clear till here, everyone?
Meghna, where can we get this list of error and what are the debugging steps? Like,
You can Google, obviously, the
okay.
list of errors in Excel, but for every function, I keep saying what kind of errors can come up. So for VLOOKUP, only these three kind of errors can be possibly come up. Okay, can you guys quickly complete till here?
Meghna, can you please explain why false is written in the VLOOKUP formula?
False means I am looking for an exact match. So
Okay.
101 exactly should match with 101. Okay.
Okay.
If you give true, it is looking for an approximate match. Okay. Like here, it won't matter, but in a lot of the times, maybe JOHN John, you are okay with matching it from JON.
Okay.
Right. So that will be an approximate match. But exact one will be exactly JOHN. So if you use approximate match, it will obviously be, very, very slow compared to
Fine. Fine.
exact match. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Give me 1 minute, guys. I'm giving you the data. 1 second. Just creating a sheet out of it. Yeah, I've given you a Google Sheet link. You will find the data in that. I have done it, Sarika. You can check the Google Sheet link that I've given. You can copy paste from there over here in Excel. Yeah, Krishna, I'll talk about it. Wait. It's not accessible.
Magna, I'm not able to copy paste. Maybe it's
Um, okay, give me 1 minute. Okay, so I have given you guys edit access. Can you try now? But make sure you don't cut, only copy paste so that everyone can use it, okay? Sarika, if I just give you the data like this, right? Okay, let me do one thing. I can download also for you guys. Give me 1 minute. 1 second. I can download and give you guys the Excel sheet as well. 1 second. Okay, I've sent the offline file in the chat box. So if anyone is not being able to use Google Sheet, you can use this. Can you show the formula once? Here is the formula. That's why I clicked on it. You can see it on the formula bar.
Yeah, yeah.
Meghna, can I share my screen once? Because some of the values I'm getting correct and others I'm getting NA error.
Yeah, sure.
Is it visible?
Yeah,
Just see the if the formula is correct.
yeah. Can anyone tell me why this is giving error? Very simple,
Dollar sign is missing.
exactly. So when you do a VLOOKUP
Okay.
and you're selecting the table range that your VLOOKUP, I mean where you're looking up from the table array, if you don't lock it with every formula that range will also move, right? So that's the reason why this is happening. Escape. Yeah. Go to the first one, H2. So when you're selecting the employee table,
Mhm.
so
Here I should give
yes,
dollar sign.
yeah, $C, $1.
Dollar C, $1.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay,
You're
okay,
locking
okay.
both of them, right? Same
Fine.
$D, $10.
All right, all right.
enter.
Fine now?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Meghna, like without dollar also sometimes it works, or how it happens?
No,
Like
see, it can work, but it might give you different values. Okay,
wrong
so
value, I mean.
yeah, because the formula will obviously move. If you look at it logically, the formula will always move down. So if your product ID that you are trying to find is similarly available in the rest of the data, then you might find the answer. But if it is not available in the rest of the data, maybe it's available in the first row or something, you will not find the value. So I mean, the right way to do it is using locking, or basically absolute referencing.
Okay, so dollar is the symbol used for locking.
I mean, absolute referencing, we learned about it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure where did we learn it. I forgot. But yeah. But I talked about absolute and relative referencing, guys. Yeah, I talked about it. Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Is everyone done? Can we move ahead? Okay. So the good part of lookup is that obviously it finds you the data very easily and it saves a lot of time and effort. But there's a lot of disadvantage of using VLOOKUP. And the biggest disadvantage is it only is limited to vertical lookup, right? Like it will only allow you to search for a value in the first column of a table and range, firstly. Always has to be the first column, right? And it will retrieve the corresponding values also likewise, and etc. So there's a limitation right over there, which means that I can only in certain scenarios I can use VLOOKUP. What if my columns are not arranged in a way that, what my point is that, what if this quantity sold would have been on the left of product ID? In that case, VLOOKUP would have not worked, right? So, and also the column index dependency is also there. Yeah, you have to always manually adjust the column and etc. So that way VLOOKUP is restricted, and it will always look vertically, like always it will look up for the values vertically, right? So these are the drawbacks of using VLOOKUP for first for initial purpose, right? And plus, when we used to use Excel like 10 years back, VLOOKUP was very popular. There are better functions today which can even overpower the work of VLOOKUP. Obviously, it's an easy to use function, so everybody's first choice is VLOOKUP. But VLOOKUP doesn't fit in all of the situations, especially when your first column thing is not working. What if your first column is, I mean, if whatever value you're searching for is not the first column, and the order is also not the same, like we did in this case, right? So yeah, and it doesn't have the ability to go left, it will always go right. So all of those problems are there, right? So we'll see of alternatives that are available. But for now, let's see another lookup that is present, which is called H lookup. And by the way, you can use VLOOKUP from two different worksheets, from same worksheet or different workbooks as well, right? So all of that is possible. Okay. Now, the next one that I was talking about is H lookup. And very, very evidently, H lookup is nothing but horizontal lookup. Similar to, one second. Yeah. Similar to vertical lookup or VLOOKUP, but the only difference is that it's going to search a row instead of a column. In vertical lookup, what was it doing? It was taking the product ID and finding it in this column, right? In this column, it was trying to find that same product ID that I was looking up for. H lookup is opposite. It will look up for a value in a row. That's H lookup. That just the opposite. So you guys got the working of H lookup, the opposite thing.
But will it solve the previous issue that you
No,
mentioned if
no,
that quantity is so?
no, no,
No.
it won't. It won't. But this is a variation of a VLOOKUP. So that's why we are learning about it. Okay. So let's say we have the product and price in a horizontal table, something like this. Okay, this is one table, let's say, and another table you have order ID, and let's say you have customer, you have the product that the customer chose, and you have the quantity that they bought it for. So order ID 111, 112, 113, 114, 115. Customer is, let's say, John, Alice, Jane, Bob, and Oliver. Let's say they bought mouse, top, keyboard, headset, again mouse. Okay, so let's say this is the second table. So HLOOKUP is opposite. So HLOOKUP solves only one problem of VLOOKUP. The only problem that HLOOKUP solves for VLOOKUP is that VLOOKUP was always looking like it was looking up for the value vertically, column wise. It was looking up for the product ID column wise in the product ID table. HLOOKUP solves that. This you can look up horizontally as well. Like for example, here, if I want to find the price column, if I want to put the price column in this case, it will look up for this particular product horizontally along the row. That's the only thing that HLOOKUP solves. But obviously, it comes with its own drawbacks as well. We'll see that. But let's first understand how to use HLOOKUP. Okay. HLOOKUP, similar values. Okay. What are we looking up for? We are looking up for, okay, I'll let you guys answer. What are we looking up for, guys? Okay, product, okay. And the table array is this, okay, function F4. And what are we trying to return? The row number 2, okay. And it can be a it can be an exact match. Now, can you see it exactly gave me the price over here? So it's very similar to VLOOKUP, okay. But obviously, the biggest disadvantage still stays in that this also finds it as the, over here, it will again, product that you're trying to find. Product is the lookup value. It will again look at the first row in the table array, right? It will again go ahead and find the lookup value in the first row of the table array. So performance wise, VLOOKUP performs better than HLOOKUP. With large data sets, it's faster than HLOOKUP. And in most business scenarios, data is obviously mostly typically organized also in a vertical format, right? So that's why you will see that there is very less popularity across HLOOKUP because people don't use it a lot. That's because most of the scenarios data is always in vertical format. Have you ever seen in real time, data being in horizontal format? In very rare scenarios, you will see that. Everything is formed in a tabular structure with columns and rows, right? Rows and columns, the opposite is very rare, okay? And that's the reason why VLOOKUP is used more than HLOOKUP, and VLOOKUP works faster also than HLOOKUP. But the main biggest disadvantage still stays the same, that here you tend to find this product in the first row over here, which is still a problem. If this was not the first row, if price would have been the first row, then it would have been a problem. But anyways, HLOOKUP is clear for everyone. Can you guys quickly execute till here?
Can I share my screen once? I have some problem here.
Okay.
So I'm doing this thing. I even log this. It's generally changing. When I'm doing the product data, it is working. When I'm doing employee data, it's not working.
Okay, I'll tell you very simple. Okay. Go to the first cell in VLOOKUP.
Yeah, go. It just just a moment. Yeah,
Escape. Press escape.
yeah.
Yeah. Now delete this formula. I'll show you in easy way to write your formulas. Okay. Delete it completely. Yeah. Equals to VLOOKUP.
Start. Yeah.
VLOOKUP. Yeah. Lookup value, select the product ID, comma. Go to employee data. Select the data. I mean, you don't need the entire data, right? You need product ID and quantity sold. Yes. Function F4, press function F4. Whatever is the shortcut for.
Function.
Yeah. Now give comma 2, comma, false. No, go to the formula.
It's changing to product data. I don't
No,
know.
no, no. Go to F2 first. Go to F2. Yes, false is not typed properly. Enter. Yeah. Now drag that formula down completely.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it?
What was wrong in the previous one? I tried
The absolute referencing was wrong.
the whole table. It was not taking.
That's fine. That's fine. We have also not taken whole table. And even if you take whole table, that's fine. But again, you got it right that if you take the
Yeah.
whole table, product ID has to be the first column in employee data, which is not the case. That's why it was giving NA.
Okay. Got it. Understood.
Yeah. Rahul, it's a simple table. I also created it quickly, so it will hardly take you 2 minutes to create. Okay, done everybody. What about others, guys? Are we done? Okay, let's move to the next one. The next one, I'll talk about it here, is X lookup. Okay, this is a important function. X lookup is like an updated version of V lookup and H lookup. Okay, this is a function that is going to search for a value. So, 1 second, find a value and return corresponding value from specified ranges. Okay, so this is a version that eliminates the use of VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP. It's an improved version basically. Why so? Because now there is no need, there is no restriction on vertical or horizontal lookup. It allows you to do both horizontal or vertical lookup in one function itself. Plus, it automatically will help you adjust the data range, right? So if your data is not in the perfect order, like we were discussing, if product ID was after quantity sold in the employee table, it would still work. And it has a lot of search models like exact match, how do you want the match to be, and all of that. So a lot of more functionalities come in over here, but we'll understand first from the basic thing. So let's say I write X lookup and I want to find, let's say I want to find, see, I'll eliminate this need. I want to find the employee name who sold this product. Okay, so X lookup employee name. Now if you see product id, if product id is my lookup value, here product id is coming on the right of employee name, right? So this was a problem in VLOOKUP, right? So this is something which can be solved with XLOOKUP. So in XLOOKUP, what you give is firstly the lookup value. So our lookup value is product id. I'm looking up for product id. Okay, then it's the lookup array. Lookup array is basically the range or the array where you are trying to search for the lookup value. So I am trying to search for the lookup value in the product ID column, right? So I'll give product ID function F4 so that I lock the formula. Then I will just give C column. I will not select the entire table. I'll not select the entire range. I'll just select only one column, that this is the column I'm searching my product ID in. Whatever lookup value I've selected, this is the column where I'm searching it in. Okay. Then we have a return array. So this is the range or the array that is going to be the one from which you are going to look up the value. Like in case you find the match, like in case you find the product ID in the C column, then what do you want to return? Earlier we were giving column index number. That's where the restriction was coming, right? That column index number has to be on the right of the product found and etc. That has been eliminated right now. So here it will be the range of array that contains the value you want to return once you find a match, right? And there is no such rule that it has to be on the right itself. It can be over here. Okay. So, and another good thing about XLOOKUP is that you can give customized values. Like if in case a match is not found, in case a match is not found, you can specify what do you want to return. Okay, so let's say a match is not found, I can specify that I want to return NA, right? And then you have match models. Match model means you want an exact match, a little smaller item, or a next larger item, a wildcard character match, and etc. Again, we'll choose exact match as a simple one. These are all optional and enter. Now see, I got Alice Smith. And if I just pull the formula down, for every product ID, I know which is the employee who sold this product. And the Disadvantage that we had with VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP is now solved. I can move on the left, I can move on the right, I can move vertically, I can move horizontally. That's the advantage of using XLOOKUP. Is that clear for everyone? Was XLOOKUP clear for everyone, guys? Okay, can you guys quickly try it out?
Meghna, for me, this X lookup is not coming in function. Is it like some version
What version are you
dependency?
using?
19.
That's the reason it's not coming. Uh, Older
Can I
versions
add
like
in
till
something?
19 and prior won't have XLOOKUP.
There is something called lookup, not XLOOKUP.
Yeah, but that's not the same.
Yeah, that's not same, but it is taking only like two, three things are not taking, but it is working with that somehow.
Hmm. I was about to talk about this. Okay, no worries. We have, workarounds.
So it is after 2019 version, it is there.
No, so XLOOKUP has limited compatibility. It's only available in Excel 365 and Excel 2021 and later versions. So 2019 and all the later, all the prior versions don't have XLOOKUP
Okay.
because it's a new function, right? So it's not there in the updated ones.
Okay, but Office 365 would be having, you're saying.
Yes, yes. Okay, everybody done? Is it done for everyone? What about rest of you guys? Okay, so I just wanted to show you this, that see, XLOOKUP works with horizontal lookup as well. Like the same function, you can do the work that HLOOKUP was doing exactly the similar way. It's all about selecting the lookup value and the table array and the return array, and then the whole job is the same. Right? Just wanted to show you this so that this is also something that you can practice. Okay, so let's get on a break for 20 minutes and then be back, and we'll cover the rest of the topics after that. Okay, cool. So we were talking about XLOOKUP, right? So yes, XLOOKUP is an updated version over VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, and it kind of works horizontally and vertically, and it also is not very restricted on the positions. Like it always doesn't have to be the first column or the first row. That's the reason why we have XLOOKUP, right? But there are certain disadvantages with these lookup functions, and now we are talking about XLOOKUP. So yeah, there are little bit of disadvantages of using XLOOKUPs. Of course, the first one is limited compatibility, like I was saying you, that it's only available in 365 and 2021 and the later versions, but the older versions do not support it, so that's a problem, right? And also it doesn't have a lot of error handling. For example, XLOOKUP cannot naturally support returning multiple values. At one point of time, only one value is getting returned. Can you see that? That only, price is getting returned. What if I want multiple values to be returned? All of those are a drawback. In fact, it has a little bit of performance issues with large data sets as well. Like XLOOKUP is slower than the VLOOKUP or other functions. So XLOOKUP is way more slower than VLOOKUP or other matching functions. So that's again a problem that comes in with XLOOKUP. Can anyone point any other disadvantage that you have noticed with XLOOKUP? Any other disadvantages that you have noticed? No one? Okay, think about it. Whenever we are looking up for a value, okay, it is always the fact that we are always looking up for one value at one time, right? Okay, give me 1 minute. I'll just be back. Give me 1 minute. Okay, sorry about that. I got a call. Yes, I was saying that whenever you're looking up, it's always one lookup value against which you're finding a corresponding value, right? But have you thought about this situation that there can be multiple lookup values also? What if I want the product to be mouse and the customer to be John? Only then I want a corresponding value. In those scenarios, X lookup will not work because it can handle only one single criteria for lookups, right? So it cannot have and conditions and etc. So that's again one of the disadvantage that we can find in X lookup for that matter. Right? So everyone got the point? What disadvantages we have in X lookup?
Meghna, can you please explain once again on the disadvantage part?
So I said, see, for lookups and especially X lookup also, you can always find for one lookup value, right? It is only one lookup value against which you are finding a corresponding value. Even when you return a value, you are only returning one value at a time, right? So these are these are one of the biggest disadvantages that X lookup has. That's what I was saying. Got it? And
Okay,
it's
so
slower.
if
It's
multiple thing we wanted to retrieve, that is not feasible
yes, or
possible.
if multiple values we want to look up, even that is not available.
Okay, so if you have something sort of primary key and kind of that, then we can retrieve. Otherwise, it's no.
Yes, yes, exactly. Right. Like for example, I'll tell you one of the common situations that come up. Even in fact, just a day before I saw this, okay, I was working with the data where there were two data sets. One data set had date, week, and a numerator for that matter, and another table had date, week, then another category and a denominator. So I wanted the date and week both to be matched. Okay, if I match only the week, that can be a problem, and in a week there can be multiple dates. If I match only the date, that can be a problem because there can be multiple categories in one date. So in that case I need to match multiple values. So that's why lookup X lookup would be a very you know one of the best solutions cannot be provided by XLOOKUP. So we have different problem solutions in this case, or we have different functions to solve. And the one that I'm going to talk about is called index match. Anyone has heard about index match? No one has heard? Okay. Index match is like one of the most advanced, easy to use, optimized function. Okay. So unlike VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, which is limited to vertical and horizontal lookups, uh, X, I mean, index match actually provides the flexibility to even do the same thing like XLOOKUP was doing, that it can go it can go horizontal or vertical. Okay, and it is very versatile in dealing with different kind of data sets. No, it is not structured in a way that it will only handle vertical or horizontal. It can handle both. Plus, index match actually outperforms VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, everything in terms of speed and efficiency. It's good to work with large data sets with index match, right? And index match doesn't rely on column or row indices, so it is more dynamic in nature, right? Plus, there is no limitation in lookup column. Like VLOOKUP is restricting the lookup value to be the first column. HLOOKUP is restricting it to be the first row. Index match has no such limitations. It can allow users to search for values in any column, any row that you want. Right. And the struggle that we had with dynamic data sets position being changed. That is also something that index match has adjustments in. It can dynamically adjust and change the data set positions if for example product ID and quantities in different positions, or if in case the values get changed in the future, everything. Okay. But to understand index match, we will understand it in two halves, okay? First is index and another is match. Index match is actually a combination of two functions. One function is index, the other function is match, okay? So we'll understand about them one by one. First function is index function. Index function returns a value uh, of any cell in a table which is based on the column and row number. It returns a value based on column and row number. Okay. And what match does is returns the position of a cell in a row or a column. Okay. So what index is doing? Index function is going to retrieve the value that is given in a particular, like it is going to retrieve a value from any particular range of cell based on the row and column number. Like if I tell it that row is 2 and column is C, it is going to give me the value which is present in C2. Likewise, and match, what it is doing is match is basically finding the relative position. It is finding the position of a specified value. Okay, so a match is always used with index or lookup or etc. But match is supposed to give you the position. It is supposed to give you position of a particular cell in a row or a column. So if I am looking for product ID 201, it will give me the position of 201 in a particular column or a row. Okay, that's what match does. Now based on that position, index is going to give me a value. That's how index and match work in conjunction with each other. Got my point? Is this clear for everyone? Okay, was I audible to everyone? Why is there no response?
uh Meghna, like this, even this function I'm not getting this in Excel. Is it also same compatibility
Yeah,
issue?
yeah, these are all present in advanced versions. Okay, not much clear. And what about others? You understood or is it not clear?
Yes, please explain again.
Okay, so what I was basically trying to, okay, which part is not clear? Index is not clear or match is not clear?
Match is not clear.
Okay, I'll give you a simple example. Okay, let's say I have the fruit table where I have the fruit's name and the price. Okay, so apple, orange, banana, and let's say price is 70, 80, and 20. That's my first table, let's say. This is my first table. And there is one more table which is stock, where you have the store ID, you have the fruit name, and you have the number of stocks. Okay, so store ID 1 and 2. So let's say apple, banana, orange. 3, 5, 10. Okay. Now I have fruits where I have the name and price. I have stocks which has the store ID, the name, and the stock. Basically fruit name and the stock of that fruit. Now what match will tell you? See, ideally, what are you trying to do? You're trying to find corresponding information, right? So what will happen here is that first thing is match is going to work. And match is an individual function, index is an individual function, okay? Match can be coupled with index, lookup, anything. But the work of match is basically that it is going to return you a position based on a lookup value. So let's say you're looking up for the value apple and you're looking it up in this particular column n. Okay, so you're looking up for the value apple in this particular column n. So what will match return? What is the position of A in the column of, I mean, what is the position of this A in the column n? It's 2, right? Sorry, it's 1, right? So it will return 1. Match will return 1. Is that clear? It's just finding the lookup value in the range of cells that you have specified. And it will give you the position. At what position is this particular value present? You got it? Like for orange, orange is present at what position in column n? Look at column n because I'm trying to find in column n. Orange is present in the position 3, so it will return 3. Banana is basically present in the position 2, so it will write 2 over here. So you got the point? Match is clear for everyone? Guys, can I get a response? Yes or no? This is what match is
Yes.
going to return. Yes? Okay. And what is index going to return? Index is going to return the corresponding value from whatever column or row number you give. Okay, whatever column and row number if you give. Let's say you give in the index function, you give stock ID, and if you give a column, let's say row number 1 for stock, sorry, for store ID column, if you give it a row number 1, so for store ID, row number 1 is S1. So it is going to return S1. That's what index does. It just returns a range of, I mean, it just returns the value and it returns it from the position that you have mentioned. That's why it is coupled with match. Okay, so now if I look at what will be the index here, and let's say I want to return the stock information. Okay, so I'll say that return the stock information where position is something that I will get from my match. Okay, so what will it do? It will go to the stock column here. It will go to the stock column here and it will see what is the match. Match is 1, position is 1. So in stock column, what is present in first position? 3, right? So 3 will come as output. What is present in third position? 10. So 10 will come as output. What is present in second position? 5. So 5 will come as output. So isn't it matching the same information? Apple is present in 3 quantity. Orange is present in, here orange is present in 10 quantity. So 10. And banana is present in 5 quantity. So 5. Got the fact how index and match is working together? Is it clear now for everyone? Guys, can I get others yes or no? Everybody clear, right? Anyone who wants me to explain it again? Or are you guys clear? Okay, fine. Everybody's clear. I'll delete the drawing then. Okay. Now we'll find index and match here. Okay, let's see. Now let's say I want to find the same thing. I want to find the employee name itself. Okay. So let's use first match. So match is basically going to take a lookup value. What is my lookup value? My lookup value is product ID. Okay. Where am I looking it up from? I'm looking it up from my C column. So I'll select my C column. Function F4 to lock it up. What is the match type? Let's say I want it to be an exact match. So exact match. So I got 2. If I drag it down, all the positions will be filled. Why 2? Look at 101. 101 in C column is present in the second position, right? So I got 2. That part is clear for everyone? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, great. And same way, if you look at, let's say, 302. 302 gave position 8. So where is 302 over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At 8th row, we have 302. So it exactly gave me the right answer. It gave me over here, right? Now I'll use index on top of it. So I'll write index of what do I want to return? So let's say I want to return employee names. I'll choose the range of cells, function F4. And what do I want to return, the row number or the column number? How do I specify it? It's just present in the match function, right? So I'm just going to write 2 and comma. And now if you see, all the names came up exactly like this. And if you try to write index and match together, all you have to do is over here, you will write index. What do you want to return? I want to, let's say, return the employee name, the function F4. Then where do I want to return it from? Like, what is the position? The position will come in match. So let's go and edit the match. So match will be something where I'll match the product ID. What is my lookup array? My lookup array is here. Here is my product ID. So function F4. Then what is the kind of match is it? It's an exact match. And you got the employee name all at once. So is this clear for everyone? Everybody clear till here? What about others? How to use index match, is it clear? Can you guys quickly try it out? Try to write the formula on your own. First thing, try to write the formula on your own. So you will understand how to use it. Okay, got it, Preksha. Yep, here it is, Sarika. Okay, everybody done, guys? Okay, let's wait for 2-3 more minutes for everyone to finish. Okay, can we see the next thing, guys, now? Okay, cool. So I have two tables over here. One is student grade and another is student information. Okay, there are two tables that we have. So this gives the students grade in different courses, assignments, middle term, and final exam, and etc. And this has the student information as well. Okay, so we'll practice a little bit of index match over here. Okay, now we'll go one by one. Okay, let's say I want to find the midterm exam score of any particular student in maths. Okay, let's say I want to find the midterm student score. Okay, give me just 1 second to wrap it up. Yeah, yeah. I want to find the midterm exam score of S102 in mathematics. So S102 is this person, their midterm score in mathematics. So you can understand there are 2, 3 conditions that are getting matched over here, right? So we'll go one by one. We'll break it down. Okay, we'll find the midterm exam at the last part. We'll first find the student ID 102 and their course name should be mathematics. Okay, so if I write match, what am I looking up for? I'm looking up for this particular value A3 over here. That is that is basically S102. And if I look up for this particular value in this particular column as an exact match, I get the position 3. Why? Because see, here S102 is present here also and it's present here also. But it still gives me 3 because 3 is the first match that it could find. So when you have duplicates, it will only find the first match. It won't return you every value over here. That's the first thing. Is that first thing clear for everyone? Okay. Now let's say I want to match that this particular student S102, their course name has to be maths. So I have to find the row where student is 102 and the course name is also math. Okay. So see, it has to be 102 and maths. Right now it is finding 102 where course name is science. I don't want it. I want that the student's information has to get matched with exactly maths as the course name. So I'll simply give a ampersand here and within single quotes, I will write math and give comma. Now when you write comma, it returns NA. Why NA? Because now you are matching the student 102 with maths, right? Now you are matching student 102 with mathematics, maths as the course name. But when you are trying to give the lookup, when you're trying to give the lookup array, which is the table array it will find from, it is only being able to find the student ID. You have not specified about the course name. So here what I'll do is I'll give one more comma and I'll select this course name, function F4, and give over here and I'll give comma 0. Okay, let me just check the formula. Yeah, so instead of comma, let's give ampersand because it has number of arguments which is restricted. Now if you see, it gives 6. Why 6? Because 6th is the row where student ID is 102 and course name is math. How did I match it? I basically gave my lookup value with ampersand where I gave that student ID has to be 102, which is A3, and math. And where should it match with? It should match with both the A column and the B column. So if whenever it's this S102 and math, it will get a match and the value will be 6. The first thing is clear for everyone? Is this thing clear for everyone?
Yes.
Now if I use index of, what do I want to return? I want to return the midterm exam score, right? So midterm exam score function F4, and if I give this, do you think this will give the right answer? Did I write it correct? Yes or no, guys? I want the midterm exam score of this particular student in mathematics. Did I write my code correct, or is it wrong? That's all I'm asking. Correct? Okay. So it gives me 88, which is the right answer that I have over here. So if I combine both the functions, then what am I returning? This. Okay. And where am I returning it from? I'm returning it from match. Right? What am I matching? I'm matching this particular student ID 102 ampersand math. What am I matching it with? Where is my lookup array? This is my lookup array. First lookup array for ampersand course name function of 4, comma 0. And you get the exact value over here. So was this clear for everyone how to combine conditions? Can you guys quickly just try it out once? I'll give you the data. Give me 1 minute. I'll give you the data. Okay, I've sent you the data in the chat box. Can you guys quickly try it out? लाल डब्बे में रखेंगे दिल्ली में। Okay, guys, done. I just got one done. What about others? Others, can you guys quickly update me if you guys are done? Great. Okay. Now tell me this. Is this an optimal solution? Do you think this is an optimal solution? Think about worst cases and then tell me. Think about edge cases and tell me that is this a optimal solution? You can comment a yes or no. Okay, no. If no, why? I said that think about edge cases or worst case scenarios and tell me if this is the best or the optimal solution. Yeah, it still depends on the columns, right? Now think about this. What if, let's say what I do is I'll take this column, let me put it up over here, and this midterm exam. See, ideally, I was trying to find the midterm exam, right? The marks of midterm exams. And I give it up over here, and this one comes over here. Okay. Where is this B getting matched? B. Okay. So now what happened is that the formula got adjusted for D. But let's say I restricted it to E. It will always be E. Now in the real time scenario, will this give a right answer? Right now it is, I mean, I just misplaced the columns manually. So obviously the column got adjusted. But in real time scenario, do you think this is ideal? What if the columns get changed in the future or something? You got my point, right? What I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so every time if you're changing column, we have to change the formula also.
Exactly. And it's a restriction, right? So how do I fix it? So here what I've done. Here I have matched the student and the course name. I have matched the student 102 with the course name math, and that's a match that I have found. Let me do the same for column also. Like if I match, what do I actually want to find? I actually want to find the column mid-term exam. right? So I want to find the midterm exam in this row, right? I want to find the midterm exam in this row and it's giving me 4. So this function will always return me which column number is present. I mean, which column number is midterm exam present in? Yes or no? This function match midterm exam in this first row will always give me the column number where midterm exam is getting matched in. Yes or no? Everybody got that? Can I get some more yes or no? Yes. So now if I use index, I give 6, sorry, index and whatever I want to return. So I'll select the entire table. Now I'll select the entire table. I want to find from the entire table this particular row and this particular column. Always row comes first and columns come later. If you notice the formula, that's the formula as well. And it will always go in this entire column and find where is this particular row 6, column 4. 88. So 88 was the answer. And if I write it entirely in one function, I will find in this entire table, I will first match student 102 ampersand math, okay, comma. Where will I find it in? I will find it in this particular column, comma, this particular column. Okay, not comma, my bad. It should be ampersand. This one. Combining columns, right? So ampersand. This is my first match, and my second match is basically the matching of midterm. I always want to find midterm exam in this particular row. 0, and it will always give me the value likewise. Was this clear for everyone? Is it clear for everyone? Yes or no? Can you guys quickly try it out? I have one question that I'll give you guys, and after that we will be done. Can you quickly try it out? Okay, guys, are you guys done? Can you guys comment a yes or no? Are you guys done or not? Okay, great. Okay, so I have one question, one practice question for you guys. Yeah. So let's say I want to find the final exam score for the student named Bob Johnson. Can you guys give me the code for this one? Yeah, you can give me the formula that you have used. Okay, no answers. That should be easy, right? Just trying to find the final exam score of the student named Bob. So how will I start off? Index. Again, let me select the entire table. Now I want to match with the student Bob Johnson, and I am trying to find their score in science. Science. Match. What do I need to find? I need to find the final exam score. So, final exam score and give your values. And you got 90. So, Bob is S102 science final exam. He got 90. So, 90 is the right answer. So, everybody clear till here? Lookups, index match. These are all important for merging your data together. Is it clear for everyone? What about others? Is everybody clear till here? All right, cool guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Tomorrow will be your last class in Excel. And yeah, thank you so much. Bye.